ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Chaitanya Caritāmrta audio class. Thank you for joining. We are discussing from Chaitanya Caritāmrta Madhya lila. We are on chapter 7. The Lord begins his tour of South India. So, the last class we heard how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after delivering Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, he stayed in Jagannath Puri for some time, and then he decided to go and deliver the southern country of India. Dhanyam tam naumi chaitanyam vasudevam dayardrati nashtakushtam rupapushtam bhaktitushtam chakareha. So while traveling in South India, he delivered a person, a brave Brahmana named Vasudeva. He was infected with leprosy. God cured him and gave him pure devotional service also. That's how Kaviraj Goswami begins this chapter. Kaviraj Goswami describes how after making Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya devotee and then he for some time observing various festivals. And he celebrated Dola Yatra, and then in the month of Chaitra he delivered Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, and then in the beginning of the Vaishakha he decided to go to South India. And he was, before going, he wanted to take permission, but the devotees were really sad hearing this. Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya was really sad. He requested, please allow me to go. So first of all, he asked permission, and all these four devotees, Nityananda Prabhu, Jagadananda Pandit, Mukunda Pandit, Mukund Sarkar, and Damodar Pandit, they were saying, we also want to come. Why you will go alone? Nityananda Prabhu said, take me. I have experience of traveling in South India. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I know you are प्रभु कहे नर्तक आमी तुम्ही सूत्रधार तुम्ही ऐच्छे नचाओ तैच्छे नर्तन आमार. You are making me dance. I can't take you with me. While coming from Navadvip, you made me go to South Jagannath Puri instead of Vrindavan. You took me to Advaitacharya's place, not Jagannath Puri. Advaitacharya's place, Shantipur. I wanted to go to Vrindavan. And then while coming to Jagannath Puri, you broke my danda. I can't take you with me. And then this Jagadananda, he wants me to enjoy. Vishaya Bhunjaite. And he feels sad when I don't accept. And this Mukunda, he also becomes very unhappy. He doesn't say anything. And this Jagadananda is Damodar Pandit. He is educating me. He is a brahmachari. I am a sannyasi. I can't take any of you. Kaviraj Goswami says, actually, on the pretext of finding faults, Mahaprabhu is glorifying these devotees. And then Nityananda Prabhu say, okay, ठीक है, at least take somebody. Because तुम्हारे दुई हस्त बद्ध नाम गणने जलपात्र बहिर्वास वहिभक्य मने. You will be chanting with one hand and counting with other hand. So who will carry your jalpatra? Who will carry your outer garment? And you will fall in ecstasy. Who will take care of these things? Somebody will come and take away. Take one person. Take this Krishnadas, Kal Krishnadas. He will take care of all these belongings. He will not say a word. He'll just stay with you and take care of all these belongings. So therefore, please take him. So Mahaprabhu agrees. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he had to take permission and from Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. As Mahaprabhu goes and informs that I want to go to South India, it was like a thunderbolt for him. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was really sad. He says, I can't stay without you, and I know that you will anyways go. Shuni Sarvabhauma Kaila Atyanta Katar Charane Dhariya Kahe Vishada Uttar. And he catches the feet of Lord Sri Chaitanya and says, I know that you will go, but I have got your association after many, many births. Now, I don't know, Providence is breaking that association. But I have one request. Can you stay for a few more days so that I can serve your lotus feet? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed for 5 more days. And after that, he again went and asked permission from Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, with a very, very heavy heart, he gave his permission. Then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Mahaprabhu, they went to Jagannath temple. They got blessings of Lord Jagannath. And we discussed till verse number 60, where Bhattacharya, he tells Gopinath that you go and get the loincloth. 4 sets of loincloth and outer garments I have kept at home. Please bring for Mahaprabhu. Now, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya again comes in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he says, oh my Lord, I have one request. Please don't neglect that. As you will be going in South India, you will find a personality named Ramananda Rai. Please meet him. Don't think him to be a Vishay. He says, Amar Vachane Tare Avashya Milibar. He is a very, very great exalted personality. Don't think that he is a Vishay and don't neglect him. He is the only person qualified to have your association. So therefore, please go and meet him for sure. And he says, Ramananda Rai Ache Godavari Tire Adhikari Hoye Teho Vidyanagare. He is a great minister, governor in Vidyanagar, but don't think him to be a Shudra Vishay. Shudra Vishay Jnani Upekshana Koriba. Amara Vachane Tare Avashya Miliba. Don't think that he is a Shudra and he is a Vishay. So Vidyanagar today is known as Porbandar. Prabhupada writes that. And there is another Porbandar, not the Porbandar of Gujarat. This is another Porbandar in Karnataka district. So he says he is the only person. Don't consider him to be a Shudra and Vishay. Prabhupada in the purport he describes about Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, and how in Bengal these Kayasthas, they are known as Shudras. So Ramananda Rai was from Kayastha family, so he was considered Shudra, and he was working as a governor in the province of Pratap Rudra Maharaj in Odisha. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya therefore informed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that Ramananda Rai is a government officer, but don't think that he is a materialist. He is a Shudra, he is a Vishay. No. Prabhupada writes, as far as spiritual advancement is concerned, materialists, politicians and Shudras are generally disqualified. Because generally by nature, they are materialist. All the politicians, Shudras and the other people. That's why Mahaprabhu, he didn't want to meet even Pratap Rudra Maharaj also, although he was a great devotee of the Lord. So therefore, Sarvam Bhattacharya is requesting, don't think him to be any other politician. He is a great devotee. Prabhupada writes, who is a Vishay? Vishay is one who is attached to family life and who is interested only in wife, children, and worldly sense gratification. Atma Jaya Sutagara Pashu Dravina Bandhushu Rajye Chavikade Nityam Viruham Mamatam Jahau. So don't think that he's that Vishay. He is a great personality. He's not attached to all these things. Wife, children, home, property, relatives. No. He's not a Vishay. Prabhupada writes, those who are not engaged in service of the Lord, they are called as Vishay. So Ramananda Rai, he was actually engaged in government service. Prabhupada writes, he belonged to Karana class. He was certainly not a sannyasi, yet he was transcendental in position and he was a Paramhamsa householder. Kiva Vipra, Kivanyasi, Shudra Kene Noe, Hei Krishna Tattvaveta, Sei Guru Hoy. So externals, they don't matter in the practice of devotional service. One can be a householder, one can be a grihastha, one can be a brahmachari or vanprastha or brahmana or a kshatriya or a vaishya shudra. If you know Krishna Tattva, you are qualified to become Guru. Yei Krishna Tattva Veta Sei Guru Hoy, Prabhupada writes. Sarvam Bhattacharya considered, before becoming Mahaprabhu's disciple, Sarvam Bhattacharya considered Ramananda Rai as ordinary Vishay because he was a householder. But now, because Sarvam knew this philosophy, what is actual devotion, he could understand the exalted position of Ramananda Rai. And that's what Sarvam Bhattacharya himself says. Tomara Sangera Yogya Teho Ekajan Prithvi Te Rasik Bhakta Nahi Tarasam. There is nobody as qualified as him to associate with you. Prithvi Te Rasik Bhakta Nahi Tarasam. He is the most qualified and Rasika Bhakta. Rasika Bhakta means he knows the mellows of devotional service very nicely. And then Kaviraj Goswami, he says, Sarvam Bhattacharya says, Pandityara Bhakti Rasa Tuhete Ho Sima Sambhashile Janive Tumi Tahara Mahima. He is the blend of Panditya and Bhakti Ras. Somebody who is expert in scholarly disposition and scriptures, they may not be so much into devotional principles, but Sarvam Bhattacharya is different. Ramananda Rai is different. He is both Panditya and Bhakti Rasa. He knows both. And when you talk to him, you will understand how glorious he is. Because Prabhupada writes in Bhagavad Gita, in that second chapter, when Arjuna is asking question, Sthita pragyasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava sthitati kim pravasheta kim asita vrajeta kim. How does Sthita pragya speak? How he controls his senses? How he moves around in the world? There Prabhupada writes, a fool goes unrecognized till he speaks. And there is a beautiful subhashit. Kakah Krishna, kakah pikah ko bhay gayo. Vasanta samaye prapte kakah pikah. Kawa bhi kala, koel bhi kala. How to understand? Vasanta samaye. When Vasanta will come, then both will start speaking. Then kakah pikah. Then you will understand who is a crow and who is a cuckoo. So therefore he says, Sambhashile janibe tumi tahara mahima. When you talk to him, then you will understand. And then he says, Alaukika vakya cheshta tarena bhuchiya parihasa kuriyachi tare vaishnava buliya. Now he is accepting Actually, I could not realize when I first talked to him, Alaukika Vakya Cheshta, he was speaking in such transcendentally uncommon way. Alaukika, Vakya and Cheshta. His words and his endeavors were transcendental. And outsider cannot understand how a devotee behaves. Parihasa Koriyachi Tare Vaishnava Bolia. So Sarvabhauma was a Mayavadi. And he was making fun of Ramananda. He is a Vaishnava. I made a fun of him simply because he was a Vaishnava. Prabhupada writes long purport. Anyone who is not a Vaishnava must be a materialist. As clear as that. You cannot be a worshipper of a Devta at the same time without any material desires. Very rare. Only a Vaishnava or a devotee of Krishna is without any material desires. Prabhupada writes, a Vaishnava living according to Mahaprabhu's injunctions is certainly not on materialistic platform. Caitanya means living force. All of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's activities were carried out on the platform of spiritual understanding. So all the activities which a devotee does, they are not on material platform. They may look like material, but because the intention is to please Krishna, they become spiritual. Ihayasya hareerdasya karmana manasa gira nikhilashvapi avasthasu jivan mukta sa uchyate. If somebody is engaging his mind, words, and body in service of Krishna, he is a liberated soul. So materialists, they can't understand. Dhyanis, they are into mental speculation, and they are only Prabhupada, they are into the process of neti. This is not spirit, this is not Brahman. They try to come up to the ultimate by neti. ये भी नहीं है, ये भी नहीं, लेकिन क्या है वो पता नहीं. Of course, Dhyanis, they are a little more advanced than Karmis, but still, they can't understand Bhagavan. They can't understand devotion. So that's how, before becoming a Vaishnava, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was a Jnani. He was a speculator, so he didn't understand who is a Vaishnava. Parihasa Koriyachi Tare Vaishnava Bolia, he was making fun of a devotee. So Prabhupada writes, Vaishnava never agrees with the speculative system of Jnanis. Both the Jnanis and Karmis, they depend on sense perception for their knowledge. They perceive with their senses, but devotee doesn't depend on senses because you cannot perceive the Lord by your senses. Lord is Adhokshaja. You cannot see the Lord by your senses because Lord is beyond your sense perception. How to understand the Lord? By practice of devotional service. And Krishna inspires and reveals itself. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yenamamu payantite. The way Prabhupada writes, the Vedas are considered to have been spoken by the Supreme Lord. They were first realized by Brahma. Tene Brahma Ridaya Adi Kavaye. Our process to receive the knowledge from Parampara. Krishna spoke to Brahma, Brahma spoke to Narada, Narada to Vyas, and that's how this Parampara was coming. So basically, Prabhupada is saying whatever a Vaishnava does, he is guided by the Parampara. One should never judge the externals of a Vaishnava. Vaishnavera Kriya Mudra Vikyena Bhujai. So that's what Mahaprabhu Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is saying. Don't think that he is a Vaishnava. Earlier, I made that mistake. But now I can understand by your mercy. Tomara prasadeve janino tara tattva sambhashile janive tumi tahara mahatye mane mahatva. By your mercy, now I can understand his glories. And, when you talk to him, you'll always understand how great he is. So without the mercy of the Lord, we cannot understand the glories of devotees. And without the mercy of the devotees, one cannot understand the glories of Krishna. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado. It comes in the first canto, Bhagavatam 15th chapter, when Arjuna is recalling what all things Krishna did for him. He says, because of Krishna only I could defeat Indra. I could mesmerize and astonish all the Devatas in Khandava forest. And there, Mayadanav, he was in the jungle. He came running out. He took shelter of Arjun. Arjun forgave him. Mayadanav said, I want to do something for you. He said, I don't want anything. You just go and take shelter of Krishna. You ask Krishna. He went to Krishna and Krishna said, okay, you do service to Arjun and Pandavas. You make a Maya Sabha, a wonderful assembly hall. There Prabhupada writes a beautiful line. By the grace of devotees, the mercy of the Lord is obtained. By the mercy of the Lord, the chance to serve the devotees is obtained. So that's how it is a interdependent thing. So when devotee shows mercy, then we can understand the Lord. And then the Lord shows mercy, one can understand devotees. So then Sarvam Bhattacharya says, please go and meet him. So Mahaprabhu, he accepted request of Sarvam Bhattacharya and he embraced and then he left. But before leaving, Mahaprabhu did something very amazing. He is taking blessings of Sarvam Bhattacharya, who is a Grihastha. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a sannyasi. On top of that, he is Supreme Lord himself. But he is setting a wonderful example. Hare Krishna bhaji more koriho ashirvade nila chale asiyena tomar prasade. Hare Krishna bhaji. Why he has blessings from Sarvam Bhattacharya? Because he is engaging in devotional service unto Lord Krishna at home. And by the mercy of Sarvam Bhattacharya, Mahaprabhu is saying, I can return back to Jagannath Puri by your mercy. Please give me your blessings. Very, very instructive. Mahaprabhu, with all his activities, he is teaching so many wonderful, subtleties of Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada writes, Koriha Ashirvade means continue to bestow your blessings upon me. Being a sannyasi, Mahaprabhu, he deserved all respect and adoration, and Sarvam Bhattacharya was a householder. And generally, sannyasi is supposed to offer blessings to a grihastha, or a renounced order person is supposed to give blessings. But Prabhupada is writing, by his practical behavior, Mahaprabhu requested the blessings of a grihastha. This incident shows the special significance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. He gave equal status to everyone, regardless of material considerations. Nobody is greater because he is in sannyas order. It depends on devotion. Devotion is the most important thing. A grihastha, a householder, if he is worshipping Hare Krishna Bhaji, he can give blessing to a renunciant also, a sannyasi also, and that's what Mahaprabhu is asking here. He is not asking blessings of any grihastha. He is asking blessing of Sarvam Bhattacharya because he is a devotee now. Prabhupada writes, after being initiated by Mahaprabhu, Bhattacharya was perfectly situated in spiritual order. Therefore, it was quite possible for him to offer blessings even to a sannyasi. Prabhupada quotes Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Jedine grihe bhajana dekhi grihe te golok bhai. So that was the exalted position of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that even Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, who was a Paramhamsa, who was a Babaji, he would hanker for association of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He would come and hear from Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So that is the wonderful dealings between two Vaishnavas. So Vaishnavism goes beyond all these external, considerations of a grihastha or a sannyasi. Only thing which is required is devotion. Kiva Vipra, Kivanyasi, Shudra Kininoy, Ei Krishna Tattva Veta, Say Guru Paya. So Mahaprabhu, for his personal example, is setting such a high standard. I don't care that you are worshipping Krishna, therefore whoever you may be, please give me your blessings so that I can come back again. So that is the wonderful way. So after saying this, Mahaprabhu, he left. Sarvam Bhattacharya was so much attached to Mahaprabhu, he fainted. He fell to the ground, unconscious. And now, generally, any person, if he is leaving and he sees, oh, this person is fainting, he'll stop for a while. But Mahaprabhu, how he behaves, that is really inconceivable. Tare upeksha koila shigra gaman, he bujite pare Mahaprabhura chittaman. Mahaprabhu didn't take notice of him. Sarvam Bhattacharya fainted. Mahaprabhu didn't stop. He left quickly. He didn't even wait. Who can understand the mind and intentions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? So it was very astonishing. And then Kaviraj Goswami says, that is how great people they behave. Mahanubhavera chittera swabhava ei hoye pushpa shama komala pathina vajramay. That is the nature of the mind of uncommon great personalities. They can be soft like a flower and they can be hard like a thunderbolt also. So that is how a great personality behaves. Nobody can understand how he is behaving in this way. He should have been a little more softer. Should have at least waited for Sarvam Bhattacharya to come back to consciousness. Why Mahaprabhu left in such a cruel, external, hard way? There's a verse Kaviraj Goswami quotes. He quotes this verse from Ujjwal Nilmani. Vajradapi kathorani mriduni kusumadapi lokottaranam chetamsi kono vidyatamiswaraha. Vajradapi kathorani. The hearts of great personalities, sometimes they are hard like Vajra. Mriduni kusumadapi, sometimes soft like a flower. How is it possible? Nobody can know. Nityanand Prabhu, he raised Sarvam Bhattacharya and he brought him back to his home. And all the other devotees, they were really sad. And all the other devotees, they came and they were walking with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Gopinath Acharya came with the garments and prasadam. And he gave all that to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu, he was walking with all the devotees to Alalnath. All the devotees, they were offering beautiful prayers, they were offering their respects. And Mahaprabhu was sometimes dancing, sometimes singing, chanting the names of the Lord. Everyone came to see him. And Mahaprabhu, who is known as Gaur Hari, Prema Veshe Nritya Kita Paila Katakshan Dekhite Ailataha Vaishe Yatajan. Many devotees were coming to have darshan of Lord Gauranga because they knew that now, how long he will be not here. Nobody knew. So they were chanting his name, Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari. They were all absorbed in ecstasy. And seeing the beautiful body of Lord Gauranga, it was a festival for the eyes. Kanchana Sadrisha Deha Aruna Vasan Ulakashru Kampasvedata Te Bhushan. So the beauty of Lord Sri Gauranga in Mahaprabhu is described. Kanchana Sadrisha Deha, he was having a golden body. Aruna Vasan, he was dressed in saffron, like molten gold, dressed in saffron. His body was like molten gold. And he was wearing Aruna Vasan. And he was looking very beautiful, with wonderful ecstatic ornaments. He was not wearing any jewelry. What was the jewelry ornaments Mahaprabhu was wearing? Ecstatic symptoms. Romanch, Kampa, Shutaranga. All these are the ecstatic symptoms. Ashru, Kampa, Sweda. All these were manifesting in the body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they were the ornaments. And Pulak, Ashru, Kampa, Sweda, Tahate, Bhushan. Hairs are standing on end, crying tears of ecstasy, trembling. These are the ornaments Mahaprabhu was wearing, perspiring, whole body covered with sweat. And in this way, देखिया लोकेर मन होइला चमत्कार यत लोक ऐसे के हो नहीं आए घर. Nobody was going back. Nobody wanted to return home. Everybody was walking with Mahaprabhu. Nobody knew how many people were coming. केहा नाचे केहा गाए Shri Krishna Gopal Preme Te Bhasila Loka Stri Vriddha Abal. Somebody is dancing, Keha Nache, Keha Gaye, Keha Krishna, Shri Krishna Gopal. Somebody is chanting Shri Krishna Gopal, somebody is dancing. And everyone, Stri, Vriddha, Abal, old people, children, women, everybody was dancing. They were all absorbed in ecstasy. And then here comes the prediction of Nityananda Prabhu. And that is very, very important prediction which Nityananda Prabhu is making, seeing all this wonderful scene of everyone dancing. Dekhe Nityananda Prabhu kahe bhakta gane, ei rupe nritya aage hobe grame grame. देखी नित्यानंद प्रभु कहे भक्त गणे यही रूपे नृत्य आगे होबे ग्रामे ग्रामे. Nityananda Prabhu, seeing the dancing and chanting of all these people, he is making a prediction. यही रूपे, this dancing and chanting will happen in every town and village in future. And this prediction was fulfilled by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada writes, this prediction of Sri Chaitanya, Sri Nityananda Prabhu is applicable not only in India but all over the world. That is now happening by his grace. The members of International Society of Krishna Consciousness are now traveling from one village to another in Western countries and even carrying deities with them. Prabhupada was such a genius and he was such an ambitious preacher. In one of the conversations he says, we should not make a business of, selling the deities of Gaur Vilas. Install deities of Gaur Vilas in all the homes all over the world. Don't matter even if they are not devotees. They can place the dolls of Gaur Vilas. Just by placing the deities of Gaur Vilas, they'll get benefited. Prabhupada writes, these devotees distribute various literatures all over the world. We hope that these devotees who are preaching the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will very strictly follow in the footsteps. If they follow the rules and regulations, chant nicely 16 rounds, their endeavor to preach the Mahaprabhu's cult will be certainly successful. That is the prediction which Srila Prabhupada is making. If we are following the principles, chanting 16 rounds, then naturally this movement will spread all over the world. And then Nityananda Prabhu, he's seeing, all these people are not going on me. He thought of some trick to disperse the crowd. Nityananda Prabhu, he took Mahaprabhu for lunch and everyone was still there. And they took their bath. They returned and Nityananda Prabhu closed the door. And he didn't allow anyone. Then Gopinath Acharya, he brought prasad. Mahaprabhu took prasad and the remnants were distributed to all the other devotees, all the other people who were there. And everybody was there outside chanting Hari Hari. There was tumultuous sound going on. Everybody was chanting. So now Mahaprabhu had to see something, speak something. So they opened the doors. And they saw all these people standing. And they were roaring tumultuously this chanting of the names of the Lord. People, they came and they were waiting till evening, and everybody was chanting and dancing. Mahaprabhu, he passed his night there, discussed the pastimes of the Lord with all the devotees in great pleasure. And the next morning, he took bath and he started for the tour of South India, not taking anyone with him. All the devotees, they fainted. They were all unconscious, feeling intense separation from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And ultimately, they went all the way up to Lalnath, but then they returned back to Jagannath Puri. And all these devotees, they were really sad, because now they were not aware when they'll see the beautiful darshan of Lord again, who was life and soul for all of them. Matta simha pray Prabhu korila agaman prema veshe jai kori nama sankirtan. Now Mahaprabhu is Matta simha pray Prabhu korila agaman. He is like a mad lion, roaring the names of the Lord. Prema veshe jai kori nama sankirtan. And in ecstatic devotion, he is just chanting the names of the Lord, roaring like a lion. And what is he chanting? He is chanting the beautiful names. Krishna, 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 Hey. Krishna, 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 Hey. Krishna, 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 Rakshama. Krishna, 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 Pahima. Ram Raghava, Ram Raghava, Ram Raghava, Rakshama. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahima. So Mahaprabhu is chanting the names of Lord in this way. Oh Krishna, please protect me, please maintain me. Oh Lord Ram, oh descendant of Raghu, please protect me. Oh Krishna, oh Keshava, killer of the Keshi demon, please maintain me. That's how he's chanting. All the while he is traveling in so many different places in South India. Ei shloka padi pathe chalila gaur hari, loka dekhi pathe kohe bola hari hari. So this is the mantra which Mahaprabhu was chanting. And whoever he would meet, he would tell them to chant. Please chant Hari Hari. And when Mahaprabhu tells somebody to chant, they would be mad and ecstasy. Say loka prema matta hoya bole Hari Krishna. Prabhura pache sange jaye darshana satrishna. Say loka prema matta. And Mahaprabhu induces somebody to chant, who can escape the mercy of Mahaprabhu? They were intoxicated in chanting Hari Hari, Hari Krishna. And they all followed the Lord with great eagerness to be with him, to see him, to hear his words. Prabhura pache sange ayat darshana satrishna. They're very eager to see him. Nobody wanted to leave Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They were all going throughout with him. Pratakshane rohi prabhu tare alingiya, vidaya korila tare shakti sancharya. Now, what is Mahaprabhu's preaching strategy? It is amazing. He would meet people, embrace them, infuse them with pure devotional service, and then they would bid farewell to them with that spiritual potency. Prabhupada writes, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he writes in his Amrit Pravah Bhashya, this spiritual potency is the essence of pleasure potency and the knowledge potency. Shakti Sancharya. What is the Shakti? Pleasure and knowledge. These two things, they are very, very powerful to transform a person. And that is what, as a preacher of Krishna consciousness, we should try to give to people. What is the Shakti which Mahaprabhu is imparting in all these people? Pleasure and knowledge. So we should give devotees a wonderful experience of devotional service so that they can be ecstatic and happy, and also we have to nourish their intelligence by giving spiritual knowledge. Prabhupada writes, by these two potencies, one is empowered with devotional service. Lord Krishna himself or his representative can mercifully bestow these combined potencies upon any man. Being thus endowed with such potencies, one can become unalloyed devotee. Anyone favored by the Lord was empowered with this Bhakti Shakti. So this Bhakti Shakti means two things: pleasure and knowledge. These two things, they are Bhakti Shakti. That is what is the essence of preaching. Good experience and knowledge. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayat Ahetukam. So Bhakti means what? You give such high pleasure, such a wonderful experience that all the other things of the world becomes insignificant. In the form of dancing, in the form of prasad, in the form of beautiful darshan. Such higher taste a devotee gets that he is really overwhelmed by that experience, and he starts thinking all the other pleasure of the world is nothing. And then to top it up and to make it strong and steady, one should have knowledge, because these experiences, they may come, stay for some time, and they may go because we are not on that stage. So how to make that experience a steady experience? By knowledge. Siddhanta Boliya Jiva Chitte Nakaro Alas Iha Hoite Krishna Lagi Sudrida Manas. We should not be lazy in understanding the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, because that's what makes a person, makes a devotee strong. That knowledge nourishes the devotional intelligence. So then, Mahaprabhu, what he is doing? Shakti Sancharya, embracing and then telling him to go. And what these people will do? Se jana nij grame koriya gaman Krishna boli hase kade nache anukshan. And then these people, they go to their villages and they are like intoxicated. They are chanting Krishna, Krishna. They are laughing, they are crying, they are dancing. And then they would embrace someone. Yara deke tare kaho Krishna naam. Yahi mata Vaishnav koila sabo nijagram. So it is like infection which is spreading very fast. We have seen the COVID infection, fast. This was much faster. Prabhupada writes in Bhagavatam, the episode of Narad Muni, Uchishlepan anumodito dvijay sakritsma punjay tadapasta kilvishay evam pravrittasya vishuddha chetasa tadharma evatma ruchi prajayate. He took the remnants of those devotees with their permission and he was so surcharged. Prabhupada writes, the wonder of an atmosphere surcharged with devotion is explained herein. Devotional service is as infectious in good sense as an infectious disease. And that is what is happening here. It is really infectious and contagious. And Mahaprabhu is showing by his personal example. He would touch and he would Sakti Sancharya, he would embrace and empower them. And this personality with that infection, he would go, he would tell and embrace, and they would also start chanting, Yar dekho tare kaha Krishna Nam. Krishna Nam ei mat Vaishnav koila sabo nij gram. All the South India became Vaishnavas. Prabhupada writes, in this way, in order to become an empowered preacher, one must be favored by Lord Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu or his devotee. One must also request everyone to chant. In this way, such a person can convert others to Vaishnavism. That is how preaching is. And then, when people from other villages, they would come to this village and they would see, what is happening here? Gramantare hoite dekhite aila jatajan tar darshan kripaye hoye tarasam. Just by seeing these devotees and just by receiving the merciful glance, other people who are coming to this village, they also become devotee. Darshane pavitra karo hito margun. As Parikshit Maharaj is telling to Shukdev Goswami, Yesham samsmaranat pumsam Sadyo Shuddhanti Vaigrihat Kim Punar Darshan Sparsha Pada Shaushasanadivi. Just by remembering devotees, one gets purified. Yesham samsmaranat, just yaad karne se Sadyo Shuddhanti. One gets purified, entire home, entire village. Kim Punar, what to speak of? Darshan, Sparsha, Pada Shausashana. If somebody gets to touch, wash the lotus feet and put the washed water on the head, kya kehna uska? And that is happening here. Just by having darshan, people are getting purified. That was the surcharged atmosphere. The darshan karne se devotee ban rahe hain, embrace karne se devotee ban rahe hain. And then, abhi ye dusre gaon se idhar aaye, they were devotee bane, now they are going to their villages and they are converting their villagers into devotees. Say jaye gramera lok Vaishnava koroe, anya grame asitare dekhi Vaishnava hoye. अभी ये अपने विलेज में जा रहे हैं, अपने गांव में जा रहे हैं, they are making their villagers devotees, and then in their village other villagers are coming, they are also getting converted. It was like a revolution happening. And in this way, say yar grame kare upadesh, ei mata Vaishnav hoila sabo dakshina desh. In this way, all this empowered men, they went from one village to another. The entire South India became Vaishnava. Ei mata Vaishnav hoila sabo dakshina desh. Ei mata pathe yaite shata shata jan. Vaishnava kore natare koriya lingan. And then hundreds and thousands of people are becoming devotees. And when they passed the Lord, they are embraced by him. So all these devotees are now coming and they are embracing the Lord, they are meeting the Lord, and Lord is becoming very happy. So Mahaprabhu, wherever he went, people are always already devotees. They are coming to have his darshan, they are coming to hear from him, take blessings from him. Everyone became Mahabhagavat devotees, not ordinary devotees. Prabhu Kripaya hoye Mahabhagavat, se sab acharya hoya tarila jagat, se sab acharya hoya. We cannot even imagine what was happening that time. How Mahaprabhu was transforming at what pace, it was mind-boggling. He was not just making neophyte devotees, abhi naya devotee bana hai, theek hai, abhi aage chal ke devotee ban jayega bada. Mahabhagavat. Everyone became a Mahabhagavat, first class devotee. And say sab acharya hoila tarila jagat. And they became spiritual masters and liberated the entire world. So that's how the entire South India was transformed. Lord went till extremes of South India, transformed everyone to Vaishnavism. And then Kaviraj Goswami says, this Shakti, was not shown by Mahaprabhu in Navadvip. Navadipe Shakti na koila prakashe se Sakti sanchari nistarila dakshina deshe. Navadipe Hey Shakti na koila prakashe. He didn't reveal this very, very merciful potency, spiritual potency at Navadvip. Se Shakti sanchari nistarila dakshina deshe. He manifested that in South India. Prabhupada writes, at that time there are many smartas, or non-devotee followers of Vedic rituals at the holy place of Navadvip. And most of them were non-devotees. They were just absorbed in karma kanda rituals. Nobody was following the devotional principles. Mahaprabhu didn't show mercy, didn't enlighten them. That is how Mahaprabhu decides. You can say, why Mahaprabhu didn't do that? Nobody can understand. But the same potency Mahaprabhu showed in South India, transformed everyone. Prabhupada writes, by this it is to be understood that people are really interested in preaching in a favorable situation. Mahaprabhu saw that, okay, people are not favorable. Why should I spend my time, waste my time? And Mahaprabhu in Dakshin, South India, he saw that devotees, these people are really, really favorable, ripe to take to bhakti. If the candidates for conversion are too disturbing, Prabhupada is now giving some practical tips on preaching. How to understand, this is a constant tug of war. Till when should I put my energy? Because I don't see the results. And I don't know, should I spend my time more here because maybe in future somebody will come, or should I find some more prospective place? So Mahaprabhu is showing by his personal behavior what you should do. If we have worked hard, Mahaprabhu tried in Navadvip, he saw nothing is working out. He went and found another field, Prabhupada writes. If the candidates for conversion are too disturbing, a preacher may not attempt to spread Krishna consciousness amongst them. It is better to go where the situations are more favorable. And then Prabhupada tells his own situation. This Krishna consciousness movement was first attempted in India, but people of India, being absorbed in political thoughts, did not take to it. They were entranced by political leaders. So therefore, we prefer to come to West, following the orders of spiritual master. And by the grace of Lord Sri Caitanya, this movement is becoming successful. That's how Prabhupada also worked. Tried so much in League of Devotees in Shasi. In various places he tried, nothing worked out. Prabhupada writes, they were absorbed in political thoughts. So all these other things are so very captivating that if we are not very, very careful, it is so very easy to get distracted. It is so very easy to go away from the principles of devotion or not take it seriously. So we have to be really, really careful and focused so that we don't miss it. And that's what Prabhupada was seeing, that people are not taking to it. Why to spend energy here? Therefore, he went and started preaching in America by the order of his guru. Prabhu ke ye bhaje tara kripa hoy, se sab lila satya korilay. So Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu empowering others and making them first-class devotees. Then they are going, they are transforming. It is inconceivable sometimes. Kaviraj Goswami senses that ये नहीं समझेगा, लोगों को लगेगा ज़्यादा हो गया. It is only a devotee can understand. A person who has received the mercy of the Lord can understand the power of the Lord. Others cannot understand. It is not possible for anyone to understand this Shakti of the Lord. People will make, people will doubt. How is this possible? Alaukik lila rayai na hoye vishwas, iha loka paraloka tara hoye nash. And then Kaviraj Goswami makes a declaration. If one does not believe in this uncommon transcendental pastimes of Lord, he is vanquished in this world and in the next world also. Ihaloka paraloka tarahoy nash. So that's how Kaviraj Goswami, he describes that. I have stated that how Lord Chaitanya began his tour, and it is happening throughout his journey in South India. So we'll stop here. We'll continue next time. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Caritāmrta ki jai.